Dire team ban.
Yes, sir.
Team ban.
Go.
Dire team ban.
Ladies and
Radiant
gentlemen,
team
hello and welcome to
ban. Dire team pick.
it's the last day, actually, if you think about it. Penultimate day here of the Chinese DPC division. World Esports. My name is there, and this should be a good one. Team Magma versus ShenZhen. ShenZhen, of course,
10
the
seconds
qualified
remaining.
team, but there's still a chance that they have to do it again because
5
see,
seconds remaining.
they are out, and so Neptune Gaming, they've had not a whole lot of success. At least you don't have to worry about that anymore.
Radiant team.
Yeah, it's been rough going. It's been a little bit painful, honestly, watching the teams go at it. It's not really fun all the time to see the team that becomes sort of the punching bag. You see the players lose morale over time. But, you know, the sad part is out the way. Now we're down to the wire where it's really competitive, right? The penultimate day, the score is 3-2 for both of these teams. And we've been harping on this entire time about how losing 3 games pretty much guaranteed that you can't get promoted anymore. 2 is the absolute limit. Both of them are at the absolute limit. If there's any hope of Division 1 dreams, it has to come from this series, this one game, and there's no more opportunities, right? Penultimate day. After this, last day out, very difficult opposition, so you have to do it here. So all the teams leave it on the line. Very excited about the matchup.
Dire team ban.
The first of 3 matchups today, SAG versus YBB. Following Friday, we've got YBB for ShenZhen. Citing Dota
Radiant
left to be
team
played,
ban.
some decisions left to be made as well when it doesn't. But yeah, for now, let's closer look at this draft. I mean, we're seeing some familiar faces, you know, Razor. It's a staple of this moment. Number of different
10 seconds
Weaver,
remaining.
also see that one a couple of times. Birdbreaker, always fun, but there's the Rubik
5
in the first
seconds
phase.
remaining.
What do you make of that?
Yeah, this is rather atypical
Dire
across
team
all regions.
back.
Like, there's a couple of times you see Rubik. It's generally like when it's a specialty pick for a particular team, when they really, really believe that the hero is going to be very good. I mean, we've seen Mian perform really, really well on this Rubik in the past, but you know, it's one of these heroes that is very temperamental, very dependent on what the enemy is going to be doing, can offer some utility in the game overall in the laning phase with their Fade Bolt. And if they're playing with a Spirit Breaker in an aggressive role, there's a lot that can be accomplished if this is an offlaner, but I don't know. Personally, I don't believe in the Rubik often. I think it requires you to be
10 seconds
just firing
remaining.
on all cylinders. And I think if it does come out first phase, it's often better as like a game 2 pick when you're already a bit warmed up. Game 1, you know, it's a bit risky. It's a bit risky, but Mian has proven me wrong before. So we'll see what he's able to do with the Rubik. And now it makes it a bit difficult for ShenZhen to go for certain heroes that might have really good spells to give away.
10 seconds
Yeah, that's
remaining.
the thing, right? Rubik kind of very much depends on
5
what kind of
seconds
spells the other
remaining.
team ends up picking, especially if you pick it up in the first phase. That's certainly a statement of confidence, you know, saying, all right, no matter what you guys get, you guys gonna need good spells to win the game, so I'm gonna have something that I can get my hands on. In this
Radiant
game, I mean,
team
the
ban.
Weaver already, you know, getting Shukuchi is always nice. Swarm, also very powerful, like, could be situationally good. But generally you want some either extra mobility, extra nukes, or extra stuns. That's anything you see
10
from the
seconds
Razor,
remaining.
probably not as good. Regardless, because it's much harder for Rubik to use.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, we'll see what else ShenZhen want to get together with that.
To be fair, Sukuchi is like super good.
Yeah.
It's like one of the best spells in the entire game. And with it, they can set up for Spirit Breaker quite easily. You run, you grab a target, that target gets nether struck. So that is the like one immediate combo that I see. Also, if they get into a world where you somehow get Aghanim Scepter, then you get to play as Weaver, you know, time-lapsing back targets, that's going to be
Dire
fun.
team pick.
What deal indeed. Ogre Magi, alright. Taking up all the fun heroes right now.
Give us
I love this
Ignite. You like winning, that's why.
10 seconds
Such a fun
remaining.
character, you know, all of his voice lines.
5
Ogre
seconds remaining.
Magi. Leaves things open now for a very interesting kind of setup. They could either get the TA,
Dire
SF.
team
These heroes have often been picked up with Ogre in the lane. TA is banned, so SF's available. Medusa's still in the game. There's a lot that can be done with this Ogre, but ShenZhen, they come back now for this Abaddon. I love to see it. I think, remind me, which game was it where we saw... I forgot what game it was, right? But we saw this Abaddon from Hara. And I think it was with Medusa, or was it with Morphling? Some other hard carry for Kaikyo. I forget which one it was, but it was like, it was kind of crazy. Like, it was one of those games where I was getting like last second saves, like the product shields out of nowhere. I really want to find that one, but either way, I'm really happy to see it, and I really think it suits the playstyle of ShenZhen, where they want to play as aggressively as possible when they do get the farm that they need. And having Terrorblade and Razor, you love having a hero like Abaddon to beef them up, keep them alive, and have them continue to brawl no matter what.
They did play it once in a season against Neptune Gaming.
10 seconds. Radiant team ban.
They also played it a couple of times in the qualifiers against Vitality, Power, and
Dire team ban.
Abaddon.
those. There was one against IG Vitality with them.
Yeah, I think it was that one.
I'm not gonna have the Medusa here, but we have the Terrorblade, which is also very hard carry. Morphling on the other side. Interesting little matchup.
Radiant team
Morph, if you
ban.
turn into a Terrorblade, obviously you do get the Metamorphosis, but not if you turn back into Morphling.
Dire team pick.
Change that around. You gotta stay in TB form if you want to get that benefit. Going the other way, like Terrorblade Reflection, it catches Morphling at the wrong time if he doesn't
Radiant team
dispel it.
pick.
He could get hit by himself very hard. So we got to watch out for that, and even more illusions potentially coming out here with the Chaos Knight. And imagine that to be off lane now, mid Razor.
It's kind of the only way they can play
10
this, right?
seconds remaining.
The only way that makes sense. I personally don't
5
like CK in the off lane.
remaining.
I prefer it in the safe lane. Although in this game, there's very good reasons for it, right? It can trade extremely well against the Morphling in the lane. You can't really get forced out in that situation. With the backup of Weaver, there's a lot of harass they can put on that side of the map. And Ogre himself is normally used to being able to bully out these offlaners. Can't really do that against the CK. Like you mentioned, it's additional illusions in a game where Team Magma have very bad illusion clear right now. They don't have the option of getting any of the real spirits. They can go Leshrac, I guess. Wind Ranger.
Select
I
your
mean,
heroes.
with Maelstrom into Mjolnir, MKB, you can do a decent job against these illusions, but I don't know. This is one of these situations where for ShenZhen, right, they can come out of this where they completely overwhelm them in the laning phase, and from there, Team Magma are just playing always on the back foot, and there'll just be too much to deal with. You'll be overwhelmed by just things coming at you. And Spirit Breaker is one of these heroes that hates playing against teams. It's just always coming at them. They love being able to pick off individual targets all across the map. So if they can do that, they can overwhelm this game, but I'm skeptical both of the CK in the offlane, and I'm kind of skeptical still of Wind Ranger mid. I kind of feel like sometimes you get as much out of this hero in the support than you get as the mid, so we'll see. But we keep adopting ShenZhen. We've had all their games, so what can we do? I'm in love. You know, I want to see Hara Abaddon.
We're both ShenZhen Sims Dota so far, and yeah, I think the lineup is a little bit safer and easier to look at Team Magma. You're absolutely right. I mean, all of these heroes are momentum-based heroes. Like Spirit Breaker does not want to play from behind, neither does Morphling really. Better chance than most others. Nuke potential, but it's still particularly easy to like go into the 5-man lineup to try and nuke some. Trying to knock down the high ground. Wind Ranger, same thing. Like, it's not a hero that you can easily play from behind. So if they don't own the early game with the Spirit Breaker kind of running a lot of things done, ShenZhen will eventually just take it. Just in the strength of heroes. I mean, it's not just Terrorblade who is like even the Razor. He can do a ton of damage here once he gets a double.
Yep, we've been seeing that over and over again lately, right? That you get that refresher, then the game just changes on a hinge. No matter how badly the Razor's game was before, suddenly this hero seems super oppressive. And the minus armor that comes from Eye of the Storm in conjunction with all these illusions that they have, and it's not just like low damage illusions. These are very hard-hitting illusions. Phantasm illusions, metamorphosis, clones. It is going to hurt. And on the side of Team Magma, none of these heroes really enjoy building that many armor items directly. You know, the Morphling's gonna have high agi, but once they start sieging onto him, he needs to get into that strength, and even that might not save him. So it's gonna be a complicated game for Team Magma. They require perfect execution, and still, I remain skeptical of Rubik. But if anyone can make me a believer here in Division 2, it's gonna be Mian, aka Mercy, on his Rubik. So let's see what he's got for us. As sadly, he does get dewarded middle by my new boy Hara on the Baron. I'm already hyped.
Game's lost. 100 gold and 25 XP for Hara. But yeah, Chaos Knight also actually
30 seconds to
got
battle.
extra XP sharing in that.
Yay. Free gold, free money, free experience.
Crazy how much it is even at the start of the game. Especially at the start of the game. Why we always say about be smarter in the sports. They be a couple of moves away, all of a sudden opponents with much
The battle begins.
Gotta be strong enough to bully them out of here, so for an exchange in the rune department.
Oof, that is a great way to start the game. You get the D reward with that experience, you get the bonus gold coming in from the bounty runes. This is the way to start the game. You already feel good about yourself in this stage. And for ShenZhen, you know, they have a bit more of a relaxed time for themselves. They're the ones that feel a bit more comfortable extending how this game goes for a while. What I'm really curious to see though, I really want to see how this top lane goes. Like this mid, we've seen a lot like this Wind Ranger with the Razor, but here I want to see how this is going to go for Team Magma. Because they need the Spirit Breaker playing from the off lane to be effective in the game. He can't just be gimped and forced out of this lane. Absolutely needs levels, gonna need a little bit of farm as well. Building an already queued Silver Edge, or might just be Shadowblade for the game, but the momentum needs to come from this off lane here for Team Magma, because it's not really gonna come from middle until we get a Blink Dagger from Wind Ranger. So TZY needs the levels to start the game going for Team Magma.
I think there's a 17% chance that they absolutely own this lane. And it starts with the buffers. 3 Gauntlet of Springs, got some region flagging only now, but the courier will die for it, so... Mark, where? Mark. Get these badges out though. Kaiko can farm. Fine. Wait a little bit later. Yeah, more down bottom. See any good potential here by the side? Level start to get going.
They have a little bit of kill threat here from ShenZhen, because they can catch out the Morphling in situations where he has in a very awkward position, especially once they get more points into Chaos Strike. Kazi can die, but it requires a lot of investment. Like, it's gonna be mostly just about trading here and trying to do as much harass onto Morphling as possible. Maybe once they do get a rotation from bottom, then they can, from mid lane to bottom, they can kill this Weaver on the vision. But until Drink is out of position, I think that they'll be okay here. But maybe the Weaver actually. The Weaver's probably going to be the first one to die here. Everybody else feels a little bit too tanky.
Again with the line, the Ogre's a little more vulnerable. Right now, Morphling as well, only level 2. Still holding a point in case he depth strike to maybe push somebody away. Yeah, unless they misplay, it should be. Right.
Mid lane, the boring lane.
Late first blood. So I feel like a lot of these games 5 minutes of.
Actually, now that you mention it, right, in Division 2 in China, now it's just a courier kill. It's fine. Like,
with the skin on.
it's fine. It's not like the hero needs any agi, and they're gonna go on him here.
Doesn't need stats, right?
Where was Olga? That was a bit of miscommunication that ended up happening there.
Hey,
oh,
dude, that's a classic. You know, I'm pulling, and then Carrie's like, yeah, all right, fine, and then he dies.
Oh,
Paul's
no.
like, yeah, oh, dude, told you I was pulling. Yeah, I think I would take it top. Yeah, it's up top. Kaiko. Some extra help here. Take charges to work with too. kill on Rubik as well. Meta.
Bounty.
Played in both lanes.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Oh, this is really traumatic right now for the side of Team Magma. You lose out on the top lane. The first meta usage on a Terrorblade is often just used to complete out the wave farm, but the fact they use it to get a kill heads up onto this Rubik in the top lane, super good situation for them. And at the same time, they get the kill on Morphling bottom. You know, that's the one situation that I thought was like, it's a possibility, but I really didn't actually expect it to happen. You know, and he gets caught out, and he has to know this is a possibility. As soon as they got the Chaos Bolts, they throw out the stun, easy kill for them. Feels bad all across the map, and even though in middle they're getting the slight out farm onto the Razor, you kind of expect the situation to be happening, right? Dust is playing Wind Ranger. You don't expect the Zero to fall behind in CS. It's kind of the main thing that she's good at in the early laning phase. So if that's going badly for you, or if that's going okay for you, it's like whatever, that's supposed to be happening. The side lanes going this badly for you is not. Especially with how hard this Barra is not really able to put pressure onto Kaikyo anymore. He's already top CS, and he's going to stay this way for most of this game.
He gets extra levels, he can always step into the jungle, since air, make more stuff. Avo is a pretty good take together with Terrorblade, because every single heal that he does is so high. He doesn't have a high health. Promised on bottom, okay, finish off the Ogre Magi.
No.
Yeah, stun, reality rift, and those bugs. Surprising amount of damage. But yeah, all these heals from Hara, Mistcoil heal, are actually so effective. Terrorblade because he's low HP but high armor. Math works out in their favor, you know.
Super effective. Everything's doing just a great job, honestly, making sure that Kaikyo is in a fantastic position in the top lane. He's now even allowed to leave this part of the map because they know that right now TZY can't bully him anymore. Rubik needs to be active elsewhere on the map. You can't just stay top this entire game. And this is one of the drawbacks of Rubik sometimes, right? You sort of run out of the ability to apply damage into the top part of the map, and they might actually try and kill him, but Dust shows up, focus fire there. They dissuade Ash, who showed up with a little bit too low of an HP pool to feel comfortable running in past the tower, so they let him go. But you don't feel too bad about this as Razor. Eye of the Storm, not a terrible cooldown. You can use some of it on the creeps, so it's okay.
Showing up quite an early javelin there. Was quite dangerous with fire, so that's one of the things that gives you out of this mid. It doesn't necessarily give you out of the offlane. Very quick timing from these items, and that's actually what you want on the. Quite a few items to feel really good playing this hero. One of them is the Maelstrom, and then the upgraded Maelstrom. Something we all know with the lightning, exactly. So bad this game is set up for RV and Ring just raid each other, see?
Tem narrador nessa época aí, eu não lembro não, mano. Eu lembro do Shell comentarista, isso aí eu lembro forte. Mas o Shell narrador, acho que eu nunca tive a honra. Ah, fala. Ah. Não deu, mano.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
É, meu amigo. O Morphling agora fica sozinho no mano a mano contra o Chaos Knight. Perfeito, né, cara? Chaos Knight vai pra sistemização de mundo de Midas. E depois de Blink. É a build que você imaginava? É tipo a daga de translocação depois a galinha? Ou ele tá indo pra um outro caminho, será?
Get a Wind Ranger off to an early start. Use use that
Dire's
damage.
top tower
Here's
is
some
under attack.
How is it actually end up TPing out? Well,
Olha só, o Rara encontrado no meio de 3 jogadores fica
Radiant's
difícil pro
bottom
Abaddon.
tower is under attack.
Vai ser abatido, né? Não tem muito pra onde correr. Quem pega? Fica numa dúvida. É do Tizai ou é do Dust? O Dust deixou pro Tizai, o Tizai deixou pro Dust. Acaba que ninguém batia. Aí o Dust trouxe o disparo poderoso pra garantir a eliminação.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Mas não se foi, né? Tá certo.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
prize is here.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
That's all they just...
Exato.
It's a little harder to put.
Hey, where'd
Max
I go?
held the country for a while. It's a bit
Dire's
crazy, my
top
dude.
tower is under attack.
Perfeito, cara. Perfeito. Nesse momento, olhando para o patrimônio líquido, a gente vê que a equipe da ShenZhen simplesmente domina. O top 3 patrimônios líquidos nesse momento são formados, né? É formado o top 3 por jogadores da equipe da ShenZhen. Chaos Knight com 5.800 de ouro, Terrorblade com 4.900 e Razor com 4.300. A Wind vem se aproximando.
Exactly the conundrum that we identified in the draft, right? We'll run into Terrorblade right here. The shot comes out. Power is there. I mean, you use W though. Cast it, dispel, and then can't burst him down here. Ash walking in, but he's also taking a lot of damage in return. Very careful here, Haura. Back up to full on the back of the ultimate. This is like the perfect target. I was going for now, just a matter of trying to run down more to check the follow. Think better of it. Yeah, this is talking about. They do have damage right now, especially with the crushing completed mouse from the Wind Ranger. This is the one reliable source of
Dire's top
damage.
tower
If they
is
have
under
the focus
attack.
fire, they don't have it right now. In fact, that's the stun. That's the second, but he gets it off with the multi-cast over on City to charge front. He's in a lot of trouble. He pushes it down on the CK. Full 5-man lineup is working together to save each other here. Oh, never mind. Still not dying. Never mind. Drink finished her off, like. Oh, that would have been so good.
Hot.
Well done, but not
My waters rise.
I'm doing a surprising amount of damage here. Also, in that last fight, finish. Comfortably. Shadows on top. See live for a lot longer than he really had any business. Power kind of. Yeah, I mean, you don't want to be trading your own life all this time. Trying to want to keep the item progression going. That's what we got before. Yeah, a lot of damage, not enough for the extra lift backs. Mercy saving his friend's life. It must be. Get yourself friends who cast the spells. Tipping. Good advice. Yeah. Oh god. Hurts me so much, especially when there's already wards out on the map. They know exactly what's going on. We need wards, dude! Either that or yelled at them. Like they're sitting in the same room, right?
Well done.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Wait until
Radiant structures are
gets it.
fortified.
There's a couple of patches. Enough to make the fight. Holy.
Gold is a great conductor.
Dire are scanning.
Phantasm is not. Now it's only 75 seconds flat. But whenever to get kills, get fun. You think so? He gets the sun drawn. What? He lives. TZY. Maybe not so lucky, but he's using a jive inside the three, trying to TP out. Oh, speed. Right on top of him. I did not expect Kaiko to live there, but Ash walks in with the Yules. Let's get a replay on that. Properly. Where he's farming. There we go. There's the bash, there's the ultimate, he's so low, he's going down to 40 health points, 45. Thunder out because of the...
Your life's in tatters.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Oh, this is Shackles next with the back as well. Just after the W, the Authority Shield, so he could not walk away from this. So much damage. So, if they actually get the focus on target for a couple of seconds, Hyper in the next.
Radiant's bottom
Around
tower
left,
is
right,
under
and center.
attack.
No Thunder this time.
I see that?
He's just gone. That is a terrible
Bounty.
series of events if you're a ShenZhen fan. look from one to the next, being just so annoying if the Spirit player gets to play like that against you. Clicking away, getting the bashes at the right time, dodging. You just can't move your hero for like 6 seconds.
That should help.
Yep. It's reducing cooldown, cast point. Very dead, showing us the shotgun there. Kazu's ready, he's doing damage.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Way out of position without a BKB there.
Golden thread.
BKB just finished well. Side of Taiko, not only an item that you love to see in Terrorblade, just because
Bounty.
hero, right? Hero gets each of the BKB. Especially in this game, right? You still have to worry about the multiple right clicks, you still have to worry about the spirit break.
Regeneration.
But you don't have to worry about all of Shackle. Rubik here is special. Yeah.
Radiant's courier has been killed. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Your time on display is
Right now. Nicely timed ultimate here in Dragon Back facing wide, but kind of hard to bring down with the bulldoze. Keep him safe. Lock him down, and now they have to be on the run. So, together as units, so Magma hesitant. These kind of plays, getting quick kill, then getting out again. You need to stabilize. Gonna sit on this 8. Tier 2 on the outpost. A way of setting
Radiant's
up
bottom tower is under attack.
down seed from 100 to 0. Guys, 2k health points and they do that.
Dire's top tower is under
over.
attack. Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's bottom tower is under
What
attack.
is TP's out? Alright, you know, like there's not a whole lot the Razor can do apparently.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower has fallen.
To hit the rat building, it went down super easily, and Magma in a super advantageous situation now, where this Razor is really falling off the map. Like, look where his net with this bottom of all the cores, not really progressing at all. Without this BKB being available, he's very vulnerable to everything. He just can't move around at all in this fight anymore. And this is before the Aghanim Scepter even arrives from TZY. So these items are gonna come around the same timing, and suddenly that protection he was relying on, at least having on the first activation, won't really apply through the Charge of Darkness.
Fine.
Bounty.
But out. This was very hard. Smoke. Get there. Nazish. Okay, actually got to throw on the stun here. Now the Thunder's there from Mercy. Bit of a dispel there on Seed. Walk away a little bit further. Let's see why. Ready to go. On the Seed. Try to burst him down. Still alive this time. Can you reset? Direction, send Magma pack in to walk away. That was not the best case scenario, but
They're coming back. They're coming back. Magma's not done. Magma's like, it's our turn now. Y'all try to get this jump. You didn't get what you wanted. Let's make our attempt. And they don't have great vision either, but Razor's about to wander into the top lane. Ash, if he shows at all, he's gonna die so quickly, but Spidey senses are at single. Okay, he's okay, he's fine. We'll get back into safety. Both teams will avoid each other right now. And ShenZhen feeling a little bit desperate. Like, yet again, they take another smoke that they don't have clear vision during the movement on. And they wind up in a situation where they almost end up getting caught out badly in a fight. Fortunately for them, Dust couldn't really find a good angle for the shackle shots. So they get out by the skin of their teeth. Ash also came in a little bit late to that fight because he wanted to finish the BKB, which he finally does have. So they want to really involve this Razor in the fight. But the fight might be coming to him here through middle. But it's just a way to say hello.
poke the prod right there. Shiny! Gonna be one of the next row, so
Radiant's bottom tower
outside
has
of
been
making these
denied.
kind of attempts, there's a whole lot for Magma to do. There's perhaps an opening for ShenZhen, but
My waters rise.
at least not Nages to worry about. Someone needs jump and level one. Breaker being
Some nice neutrals.
Dire's top tower is
Finally,
under attack.
CK is finally building BKB. It honestly doesn't feel like the CK is quite farmed, but it doesn't fully feel like he had got such an early hand of Midas, right? Because the Midas came quite quickly, but the progression, this mid game has been rough for Seed. 4 deaths on the bounce, hasn't really been able to find all that much on the map that's effective for himself. But with this BKB, things start to turn a little bit because also been struggling a little bit against the shotgun. As we saw in that last kill, he died from 2,000 to 0. It was very difficult. The only hero right now that feels like he could survive through that with BKB is the Terrorblade. Everybody else on ShenZhen feeling a little bit squishy, but at least Ash as well has some protection. But Team Magma are going again. They don't want to let go of this advantage. They want to keep this train going.
Let's put charge in the other way. Charge as well. On the wall playing out, it's a lot of trouble. So is Ash here, check it together. This is so much worse than you do. BKB will fall down. And Terrorblade starts to right the team. His friends are falling left, right, and center. See. Walking away. Now charge back in onto Kite. Not in time. Gets him eating out. Mercy stole the chaos call.
Oh wow.
Aiko gets to live. The rest of his team is DED dead. He's why? Okay, yeah, that would be a little bit crazy.
Dire's
Still,
middle
but
tower is
man,
under attack.
Damage, but not enough to do more quickly.
Yeah. This Morphling, did you see this charge, like the double charge from him with the Aghanim Scepter going through these BKBs, just getting onto the backline super quickly, and he's also been activating Bulldoze during it, so it's so quite a lot of, not just damage, but difficulty in controlling this hero up. He just sits there, like unable to be brought down. You stun him, doesn't really matter. Just so strong. Morphling right now, big boy on the block. Super far ahead, and we were talking about how he can out-carry this Terror Blade. He's out-carrying the whole game, just pretty much by himself with all this damage. 6k in that one fight. I can't wait to see his stats after the game is over. And ShenZhen, they're in this position right now where nobody can survive against this burst that the Morphling is bringing out. It happens so quickly. Also has a Titan Sliver, probably one of the best heroes in the game to have this as the neutral item they pick up. So as soon as the fight starts, just instantly a hero dead, and TC might win it again.
This amount of health. Down the over gets buyback. I'm not sure when Roshan will be back now. Probably a little while. Not completely over just yet, but kind of depends back on the damage go. Everyone has BKBs inside ShenZhen, and I think we kind of needed this game. That's not going to helping them against the damage. The second turn, Magma straight into the mix, and the waveform back out. Classic.
Does need to still be a little bit careful though. Now that Kaikyo does have access to his Scotty, not a free kill anymore. So you need to be careful with the footing. The whole team isn't there. It's still not the safest place to be. And Team Magma, they get this Aegis. This game really becomes quite difficult for ShenZhen. They can get stopped though. All the ultimates are available for ShenZhen. They're coming over, but it's a little bit too late. This Roshan is dying too fast. Morphling has too much damage. Dust as well. Very close by to assist. So they have this Aegis now. With this Aghanim Scepter, E-Blade, Manta, 4k gold, a Titan Sliver, level 22. Morphling super far ahead. And Team Magma, they've created all the space they need, and Morphling can carry them through this part of the game. Doesn't really care about this burst anymore from the side of ShenZhen with the physical damage. Has more than enough armor to tank through all of it. Finds Satanic as well, so he can just right-click himself through it too. And this game, like you said, provided they don't make any big mistakes, which will be quite difficult to make right now with how strong this Morphling is, they should be able to walk away with the game. And ShenZhen, they sort of missed their window. There was an opportunity they had where they were super far ahead. They could have fought pretty much anybody except for this Morphling, but they weren't able to really connect on any of their smokes. They didn't go for the super early BKBs, and also without this Aghanim Scepter on this Weaver, everybody else is just dying too quickly to the Morphling. They don't have a reliable way to protect themselves. Hara can only do so much by himself on this Abaddon.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Even though Kazi's got an 11 multicast streak right now. 12.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Look at
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Very important. I know from a friend of mine who's also got Yoda.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
It was super hard for him to get any points because yeah,
what?
Put it to 13. There we go. I think that was the end. I think you get them 10 in a row. Then what you get on top of that, you also get a point. Oh yeah, you've got 10 in a row. Now that's 1 point. But you get 14 or 13 like you did there, you get 4.
So Kazi is
It's
climbing the ranks right
It's
now.
quite unlikely to get 10 in a row in the first place.
So basically you're saying that we should ask Kazi what the lottery numbers are for the day?
That or his ritual.
You know who needs some good RNG here? Right now, ShenZhen need a great neutral item on the next tier. Or at the very least, they need Team Magma to have Morphling, AFK, somewhere on the map by himself, not getting caught out. But they're catching them top. Look how fast he is, my god! Okay. They're gonna drag him back though, but I'm not sure they have enough damage to kill him.
Yeah, BKB as well. Ash stepping away quite a bit, and now it's way out.
Oh, the talent, dude. Oh, it's actually even funnier when you look at it on the mini-map. When you see how fast it's moving. Oh.
I would have put an arrow then.
But this is a bit unfair though, honestly, like just how quickly they can move across this map. Windrunner has Blink Dagger, Windrun. She should build into Aghanim set or maybe just get it for free from Roshan and get the double Windrun, but for now she's going for the Nullifier. Double Spirit Breakers, one Spirit Breaker has practically max movement speed. The other one is just coming at you with max damage. This feels a little bit rough to be anywhere on the map right now unless you're inside your base, but even the base isn't sick. Yeah, Dragon Drop.
Game blacked out. Quite a quick moment. The dies fast with the hand. Now control over the kills. Nice Jacko here. Hara. Don't back down a bit. Why? Kind of low and trying to run him down. Unable to do so. The ultimate not up to the drop. And the fashion. Oh, finish him.
It's a buyback.
Second line. That as well. No chance.
Dire's middle barracks are under attack.
4.2
Dire's
just
middle
all of that.
barracks.
It's still a Skyko. Buyback on Ash. How do you even
Dire's middle tower is under
Go.
attack.
Yeah, they agree with you. You don't. They just call the G's. It is a GG situation. They're just too strong. Still can't stand his ground. We saw Ash in that last fight running in, getting the drain off onto the Spirit Breaker, getting a legitimate amount of damage out, but he's so far behind on farm that he just can't survive just mere right clicks. And it doesn't matter if you have a BKB or not, if you don't have the armor or the HP to survive this Morphling hitting you. This Seed CK, without the access to the BKB,
5 seconds remaining.
Todo momento.
Dire team ban.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We are just about to head into the draft for Game 2 already here between Magma and ShenZhen. The game number 1 was quite the display. Like, Magma really understood their lineup and
Radiant team Dire team
I don't
ban.
know, it felt like they did more damage than they really should have.
Yeah.
I don't know. It felt really strong.
We were worried about whether or not they'd have the
Radiant
momentum to
team
keep that
back.
kind of draft going, because it was like this draft has pressure, has the potential to be able to apply a lot of damage on the map, but you have to be able to do it and execute it, and it's a bit difficult. They made it look
Radiant
super
team
easy.
pick.
There was no problem for them at all, running around the map, bursting targets like they were doing it for fun. It was wonderful to see them do it, wonderful to see how well, like you said, they understood their draft. And you always have confidence in a team that shows that understanding, because it means they can probably play a lot of different styles of drafts. It wasn't simply a case of everyone's on comfort heroes, although there
10
were some comfort
seconds
heroes,
remaining.
but it was more a case of utilizing the heroes to their best degree. And it was
5
great to see.
seconds
At
remaining.
ShenZhen, they now have to pull out all the stops if they want to try and get a victory here, because it's their last chance for a potential to get into upper division. Division 1 beckons, but only for the winner here to stay in contention to get there.
Get their hands on a mask now with the pick, not necessarily a hero that they run every time, but it's a hero that Magma runs every time they can. If you're not gonna ban it, you probably
Hmm.
Makes a lot of sense. It's also, like we talk about time, there's a reason that this is a staple pick, because staple lane and you
Radiant
damage
team pick. Dire team
not a
pick.
free win by any means, but it pays to work a draft.
Dire team ban.
Look at this. Team Magma still sticking with their Rubik. Oh man, it happened again. Dragon Drop was about to mention
Radiant
Snapfire,
team
but it
back.
happened again. It is what it is. ShenZhen, they get their combo going. I do prefer this with the Dark Willow nowadays, but Snapfire, I will prefer Snapfire also with Tide rather than the other direction, but still amazing duo together. Can be a very strong lane, lots of magic damage, lots of setup. Team Magma though,
10
Rubik
seconds
abandoned.
remaining.
From what we saw in the last game, Mercy just did the most
5
on this
seconds
hero.
remaining.
Obviously won't have Sakuchi, which made this game a lot easier, honestly, and doesn't have the setup for Spirit Breaker, because ShenZhen, they say, nope, not happening today. And I like the fact that for ShenZhen, they still have a little bit of versatility to go deeper into the draft. The Snapfire could be a 4 or 5. For Team Magma, it is a little bit
Dire
clear
team back.
what their support duo is going to be doing. So for ShenZhen, it's a
Radiant
little bit
team
easier to
back.
draft now, especially when you don't have last pick. You love to know exactly what the lanes are going to look like to make it easier to sort out your core matchups, so you don't get overwhelmed in the early game. And they need to make sure as well, I think, for ShenZhen, that they don't run into the same situation as last
Dire
game, where
team back.
this mid game hits, but because of itemization or something, you don't have the ability to fight. Now they make sure that no matter what, just with our raw skills, we can always fight on the map.
Powerful option to have. Press your buttons,
Radiant
kill
team
more
ban.
often than not. Pretty good counterplay, a bunch of big KBs already online.
Hmm.
Bans coming out, respect ban on the Morphling. No Viper, no Batrider, very annoying heroes.
10 seconds
Perhaps
remaining.
setting up for
Radiant team pick.
pretty good hero, perhaps a Kunkka, just add more control.
Could see Kunkka.
But for now, Magma, they've got the support, you would think. Unless
10 seconds
but-
remaining. Pick.
Templar Assassin.
Quite unlikely. I guess they will rely on a Baron as the backup for TA. We don't know if this is going to be mid TA or safe lane TA. And Team Magma might not know themselves. They have last pick, which they could reserve for any of the
10
players, depending on what
seconds
the
remaining.
matchups look like. Normally, we've seen this TA really emerge in situations where the
5
team
seconds
just definitely
remaining.
needs physical damage. So obviously now with the support duo already being revealed, they set up a lot, but they don't necessarily kill heroes. And Team Magma want to be able to pick a draft that can use that setup. You know, the window that Rubik gives you with the lift, you don't want to have a hero that can't really catch up and get the kill quickly. TA can definitely do that. if it is a safe laner, it can play against Mars. If it's a mid laner, you get going on the map really, really quickly. And we saw in the previous game that Dust did a really good job of transitioning from that laning phase into a very powerful mid game without sacrificing his farm potential. And TA definitely can be a specialist from that position. And here we go, Dragon Drop, your favorite hero, it's Void Spirit.
Alright, I'm gonna predict right now that this is gonna be a 2-0. I mean, I've legit not seen Void Spirit win
10 seconds remaining.
in the last few. Sure he has, it just
5 seconds remaining.
the moment you start falling behind, you
Dire
just
team
don't do that.
ban.
In
You
the
have a bit of
spirit.
control, you're very escapable, but you don't do any damage, right? You help kill people off, and that's not pickoffs and there. Establish map control on the back of that, but you can't do that. If all you can do is run away,
10
then that's not
seconds
going to bring you
remaining.
forward.
Yeah, in this game, they
Ember's
did have a
5
little bit of
seconds
backup.
remaining.
Ember is the better voice.
They've got this Grimstroke, you know?
There's no Grimstroke combo either, right? That's the other thing that about always when I see Stroke, but there's no big combo. Small combo, right? There's no single target spell. Heroes.
Yeah, this game they're going to be relying mostly on Inkswell, I think. So when Void Spirit gets forward, either him or Mars, once he gets the Blink Dagger, utilizing that Inkswell to set up for more. They have a lot of like small combos that they need to set up on the side of ShenZhen. Them getting killed isn't a very straightforward affair here. They don't have much burst damage. The Morty's Kisses is their biggest source of it in the midst of their team fights. So
Radiant team
they need
ban.
pretty much everything to
Dire
land
team
perfectly
ban.
on these heroes. And Team Magma is not easy targets to go on either. TA's got the Refraction to protect her. Ember Spirit's got the Flame Guard. Abaddon's going to be backing them both up. Rubik with the Fade Bolt as well, reducing some of that damage output. And ShenZhen's right now, they don't have any physical damage practically. We still don't see what's going to be
Radiant
played in the
team
safe lane by
ban.
Kaikyo. Does really feel like they're going to have an overall lack of damage. Lots of setup, lots of ways to start fights, but ultimately finishing them becomes harder and harder as this game goes on. And it's not like in game one where Team Magma still have this TZY Spirit Breaker that creates a lot of space and has options to
10
scale super
seconds
hard through
remaining.
BKBs. At some point, ShenZhen, unless this game goes perfectly
5
and they
seconds
keep
remaining.
fighting, brawling as often as Magma was able to do successfully, does feel like they're going to get out-farmed here by TA Ember Spirit to eventually start out-fighting you, because they have a lot of damage in quick instances here, both physical and magical on the side of Team Magma.
Actually, with the Ember Spirit, like if you look at all the control the Chen have, Sapphire Cookie, Stroke, Swell, Mars, Spear, all of those are more or less room for Ember Spirit to dodge that out, either Remnants or even Sleight of Fist.
Yeah.
Void Spirit if he doesn't have duels to set up for.
Dire team
Even
pick.
though there are some stuns, they're not instant target stuns. Spirit can them, and even if he doesn't, there's still an ABBA behind him. There's definitely room to Magma and get to that point where
10 seconds
Ember and
remaining.
TA are very, very scary and very.
5 seconds remaining.
And if they miss the timing, like especially on TA, get off to a good start, you get your Dragonlance later or Blink to go for. Do a ton. Gonna need a BKB in this.
Oh,
I mean,
definitely.
there's a way for ShenZhen to play this, but not if they fall.
They can hunt the TA in the jungle quite a lot in this game. It's possible for them to do. It is possible for them to isolate TA from Abaddon. They have the tools to do it. You know, you can keep Abaddon quite busy. You got Phantom's Embrace as well, which does feel like a very good spell in this game. No instant silence, but if they get any of their
Radiant
spells
team
off, they can chain them into a lot of the other ones. And they go for an old special here. Old Faithful. We've seen this before from them. Kaikyo, Wraith King. When they're in a troublesome situation, they go for him. putting themselves at the very least in a position where you can scale with the hero. You have somebody with a lot of physical damage, which they were really lacking
10
beforehand.
seconds
Now
remaining.
they have a way to take advantage of some of the negative armor given by the Fire Snap Cookie.
5
It's another
seconds
Inkswell
remaining.
target with Blink Dagger, which they needed somebody who could also get forward. And big thing, it's a hero that can challenge both TA and Ember Spirit in the latter portions of the game. And it was a bit of problematic beforehand that they were super reliant on perfect execution. Now at the very least they can rely a little bit on
Choose your
farm,
hero.
but Team Magma, well done on them. They leave the TZY hero for last. They pick up the Tidehunter, be very bothersome in the laning phase versus the Wraith King, give them some huge team fight, which they were kind of lacking beforehand on the side of Team Magma. And of course, make sure that they have a very good combo for the Ember Spirit. Ravage into Remnants forward, very easy to be able to kill a hero no matter who it is. In this game, Wraith King will die twice, several times, because they have very easy ways on the second life of killing you. TA, when she's allowed to set up and just be right next to you, not a very happy place to be for this Wraith King. So love this Tidehunter pick. Wraith King, probably one of the better options they could have gone for ShenZhen, but the way the draft is looking before, it's a difficult game. It's a hard one. It's a hard one for them.
It is a bit indeed. Yeah, I like Wraith King here. It's one of the. It's a pretty strong hero, right? One of these carries that even if it can go particularly well, and it's not gonna be. You don't. There's some lanes where you can get some really good kill potential out of it early on. Not against Tidehunter though. So not a big problem though, because you can always just save them up and. You have this reliable farming tool, you're gonna get your net worth, you have that inbuilt Aegis. Yeah, also once again a hero that if it holds behind, gets a lot tougher to play.
Yeah. Yep, definitely.
Prepare for battle.
And you're gonna need
Also,
items in this game.
One funny thing about Wraith King, so we're in game right now on our own clients, not have issue quote unquote. But might switch to the clean feed. It's a little bit later just to show you. But if you watch a Chinese Dota stream and you see the skeletons, they're not actually skeletons, they're zombies.
Oh yeah. It's one of the funniest things
So
in the world.
we'll see if we can show that later.
Oh.
Yeah, China has some thing about skeletons. They don't like them.
There are some issues with them being displayed. Some of the changes that gets just made to the clients are kind of funny, honestly. Like I know Lion at some point, like one of
30
the
seconds
aesthetics
to
that they
battle.
changed that wasn't allowed in China. It's super weird. But hopefully we will get to see that highlights at some point with these skellies. And speaking of the skellies, they're setting up for a potential gank here, but the intuition is on here from this Ember Spirit. And look at the change up. Dust is actually the one that's playing TA. Not sure if they're going to be playing this TA through the mid lane and Ember Spirit safe lane, but they could also just switch up the player roles directly. Let's see Ember.
The battle begins.
No,
Nice.
I was so ready to go. Like, oh god, they're gonna respond to that. Decided not to kill him. Poor souls up there.
Okay.
For one bounties.
Okay. They just did it. They just ran and took the bounties.
There's 4 of them on the top rune spot. What? Magma, let's get that. So
Through hard work
alright,
and dedication. That's how.
Game 2. Gen. Board.
One thing I'm curious about here in this game here, Drag and Drop, is because they are playing this Ember Spirit in the safe lane instead of TA, they are gonna
Radiant's
have the
courier has been
TA matchup versus Void Spirit middle, which can get a bit rough for the Void Spirit as time goes on. You have far fewer options here than you would against the Ember Spirit. And yes, though you do have this Resonant Pulse for protection, a I'm curious to see what Ashe is going to be able to do in recovery. They haven't blocked off the side camp, of course, so you should be able to get a lot of farm out of this, but I think Dust is going to have such a good game middle that they're going to have to respond to this somehow as ShenZhen. I don't think they're going to allow this lane to just happen by itself naturally. We'll already see that Ashe is suffering right now. I'm going to have to ferry out a lot of regen on top of the bottle, I think, to survive in this mid lane.
Me in an even godlier light.
Got resonant pulse, but that's just a... Just... Catch that, my bad.
It's just another bad and it's fine.
Now you see the side blade. I'm realizing I can just click it and gonna win the lane. Traction to just give you defense and also gives you instant bonus.
You
damage.
might never recover.
Quite big. It was 25 to 50, 4 hits. You have to get him with the Magma strike. Like Ashe is not gonna have time to fight Resonant Pulse. It just
Definitely suffering right now.
How I feel a lot of the Voidsburg lanes even, but it's like it's a free lane matchups.
Having a very
Lanes
difficult time.
doesn't have the easiest time farming up compared to other spirits.
I honestly love your voice split mini rants.
Keep seeing it and always loses. Like
They really reliant on him in this game because they need these first rotations to fully pay off with the side of ShenZhen. On the side lanes, they're not having the best of times either, but this bottom lane is going quite well. As you see, Hara might get killed by Mercy here. The chase down, not enough right clicks. Will he get denied by Roche? Nope, uses the darkness. Haha, got him.
got enough health out of it.
I love the fact that the Tidehunter is showing his worth and his value and why they picked him in this lane. You don't, it's not just good enough when you pick Titan to the straight king. As you see bottom, ooh, rotation and movement onto Seed. The Ember Spirit coming in with damage. Not going to be able to save the life though of Kazi as they lose this Abaddon. Okay, good damage coming out from that Ember. Nicely done.
Preparation.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Feels
attack.
bad.
Super low, he went to the left and then he received chickens with the price, you know?
Okay. So this was already going poorly here, Dragon Drop. It's now even worse. You got brought down. You're very far behind. Top lane though, they're trying to kill TZY. They know he's alone. Fire Snap Quickie gets the toss forward onto Kaikyo. The damage does come out. Heals up with the magic stick. He's okay though. Mercy comes back in time. And this is why we love Tidehunter. Anchor Smash makes killing him so difficult.
I am Watermelon.
No worries.
More last hits that
Yeah. I was going to talk about this before we saw that aggression happening bottom, that the fact that he's in this game, he's meant not just to survive his lane, but to put pressure onto Kaikyo and have him missing CS, losing out on the maximum efficiency of the lane. They know that the Ember Spirit is not going to have the easiest time bottom against this Mars, so they can't afford to have a hero who's just going to soak up farm and not put pressure on the opposing carry. They need one to slow down Kaikyo at the same time. Because in this game as well, though Dust is playing through the mid lane, Dust is actually the true carry of the game here for Team Magma. Most of their very high aggression and all their damage is going to be coming in from Dust, at least their major amounts of damage. So this TA, the fact that she's crushing this matchup right now, really going to feed into the favor of Team Magma as time goes on.
Denied.
round, but a whole lot you can do.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
Fury actually is up top. TZY also this time around. Stick charges. Don't tell me he gets a little. Fury is.
No screecher.
Dire's
I
middle
was busy
tower
watching that
is
bottom
under
fight. They
attack.
almost got him. They had the courier kill, and the courier was coming with boots on it and the full magic wand. So there's a really big grab there. They almost brought him down, but Kazi came back just in time with the Aphotic Shield miscoil. Keeps the Ember Spirit alive. So aggression happening, but only really paying off on one side of the map. And at the very, very least in that situation, everywhere, like the fact that Magma don't lose anything top and they don't lose anything down bottom allows them to feel that, you know what, despite meager gains here for ShenZhen, things are looking a lot better for them on Mars, being able to get the kill on the courier. They're putting a little bit more pressure out onto his mid lane, but well, I say that, but Drink gets killed. Bye.
Feed me if you must.
Yeah, they saw him with the ward. Pressure plays. Dust happens to have a DD rune because why not? Magic fraction. Bonus damage.
Gosh.
It's yeah, that'll happen to a support. Pierce.
What supports?
One
kill TZY in the top lane though. They got the little shredder out onto him, but they're not gonna. You know, this starts to happen after a while. You make so many attempts on a guy's life, you're like, alright, we're tired of this, whatever, dude. Just leave us alone.
You never understood, or even truly questioned,
a little bit too long.
Why you were given this power.
Wait, a tiny ancient step back here, Hara.
Oh, this is huge.
What's your side of the map, my dude? Try and buy some time by
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Nets, it's just
My
being more
blades
money
and my
towards
mind
us.
are as one.
Oh gosh. Doesn't interrupt the stack either. But he did block the cap.
Oh, he did, yeah.
Yeah. So block the camp, at least stops some of the progression from Dust, making sure that they won't get much more out of Ancients, and they deny this arcane rune right in front of Dust's face, get rid of the sentry, now nobody dies. ShenZhen is starting to pull it back a little bit here in the farm department. This bottom lane has gone sufficiently poorly as time has gone on. That impact earlier of losing the boots really had an impact on the Ember Spirit's net worth. He's been bullied in the lane since by Seed on the Smars, and Seed's just going to keep chasing him, looking for an opportunity to activate the arena here. He gets debated onto this high ground, but it doesn't really matter because he feels super good about how the game is going, progressing towards getting the Splink Dagger. Kaikyo in the top lane, and because they had to keep moving around with this Rubik to keep assisting either bottom or through middle, what ended up happening is that TZY got left alone in the top lane, and Snapfire, Wraith King were able to take enough advantage. They might even get this kill onto... Okay, no, they're not going to kill Dust. They should just leave this area.
Ash, though. Dust and Ash. Oh! He really wants it.
Oh, go.
Surely he can't get it.
Here comes Ember though. Ember can.
Never mind. It's like peekaboo. I have friends, by the way. The power of friendship coming into play.
You know, Dust and Ash might be close cousins, but Ember and Void Spirit are brothers, and we see some young fratricide showing up from Ember Spirit, sets them up for the kill, goes back bottom, recovers some of the net worth he was losing out to the Mars from earlier. And Mars spent quite a bit of time not just chasing this Ember Spirit, but also moving about inside the triangle, chasing towards middle, so couldn't really contribute fully to that fight. End up in the situation where this Ember now got a little bit of time to catch up on the CS, closer to this Maelstrom. Seed, although it's gotten a bunch of levels, hasn't really been able to activate on this map. And although they've been playing around Ash through this mid lane, Ash hasn't been involving himself elsewhere on the map, which is what you really want from your Void Spirit early on when you can. They've just been struggling to find an opportunity to do so. Instead, he's been the one that's been brought down, but he's finally going to make a move top here, drag and drop. They want to get this kill. I think they got it. TZY, there's no way he lives here, is there? Ash will step forward. Scatter block. Come on. Still alive. Gets off the Ravage and Kazi saves him. Are you kidding me?
He barely got level 8 from some random creeps dying.
Dire's middle tower
Ravage. He
is
didn't
under attack.
actually have a point saved for it. That was literally just in the nick of time.
Oh gosh.
Surely next time. Sure.
Okay, now he doesn't have Ravage. They just have to go or get all the HP back. Come back for round 2. Oh gosh.
He's got the 2 braces, which is, seems like an old school laning thing. Nowadays it's the will even just.
I don't like the double braces. I don't like bracer in general right now, and I think like it's just unnecessary. It's like gold that could be expended elsewhere. Could have been closer to getting this blink dagger. Might have had it fully if he just stuck with gauntlets. You could have already had, like, for the same investment in gold that you buy 2 bracers for, that, like you mentioned, is a helm of iron will plus a little bit. So why go for this item? And in this situation, he's gonna have to end up selling them both, right? You only have limited space in this game. He needs to put in this blink dagger. He'll need BKB. He might need armlets or whatever. As you'll see him now, he's hopefully getting a kill onto Dust. The arena, do they have enough damage? Ash comes in, and this is not a Tidehunter Dragon drop, so this time they finally get a kill.
This is a Titan though. TGY looks pretty Assimilate, getting forward, getting around. A couple more spells to give in Ash.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Last hit on the Rubik. Maybe one save, but all seven done. Why? They might not be able to kill him, but at least they can keep.
He's so tanky. Just does not die. My goodness. But get the big hero though. Dust getting brought down is very, very huge, and the fact that it's Ash that gets the kill, but they're not done fighting. Seed with X-Fall though, gonna start multiple targets. Only the Ember gets caught, but here come more these kisses, doing enough damage that they are able to, with the help of Ash, take out Kazi. They steal Phantom's Embrace in the other direction. Ember doesn't die. Yep, no option to survive that fight. Ends up getting brought down. Ember Spirit trying to get away, not able to do so. 2-for-1 exchange. Seed dies, but getting Ember definitely worth it for ShenZhen.
Really having a rough time this.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And again,
Bounty.
gonna need some time to catch up. I mean, at the very least, TA is nothing wrong with that. 7K.
Yeah.
Kind of make up for one bar of a 2 times charm, maybe.
No way. No way. No. Okay. You know what's crazy to me, Giant Drop? Alright, I'm looking at Kazi. Kazi, it's your fault that the Tidehunter's dead. Had Kazi TP'd down bottom, this Tidehunter would still be alive right now. Are you kidding me?
Could have made that play. They could have.
Radiant's middle tower
like
is under attack.
I'm a took, and the commitment it took for them to actually kill him. Could have gotten a Ravage out there.
Tower is
Yeah,
under
that's
attack.
support from his team to actually do it.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Instead they go for the top right.
It's fine. They get the towers. End of the day, it's not that big a deal. They still get to keep the Ravage, have that available for something else on the map. TZY building this Blink Dagger. Not going for that new Aghanim Scepter build. As we see middle, they're jumping onto Ash. He does manage to survive, getting out there to simulate. And is definitely, I will say that Ash is definitely playing very well. Has recovered magnificently from the horror show that was the early laning phase. Now has some decent amount of net worth. Going for the ShenZhen Kaya instead of buying Yule Scepter, recognizing that in this game, Yules won't really cut it. You need to be able to survive some of this initial spells. And against this damage of the TA, the lockdown of Rubik Tidehunter, the burst of Ember, rather getting as tanky as possible, as early as possible is the way to go. Then you can focus on fighting. So this SNY or ShenZhen K, like SNK just sounds weird to think of King of Fighters or something, but and he's going to lead him into a good position in the game. We'll allow him to fight afterwards without having to worry that I'm way too squishy to stick in the fight. Having learned the lesson from having played Razor, Yules into BKB will not be the option this time for him.
ShenZhen K. Still sounds wrong. Like, I'm not gonna say S and K, you gotta say something.
Yeah. The full thing.
Alright. Eating a whole bunch of fun. Guys,
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Overwards here. They play here on third. Time to catch up a little bit.
Yep. They are getting on. Alright, look at Kaikyo's build as well. He is building Silver Edge for now, BKB, then we'll come back for the Silver Edge. So after the Shadow Blade is complete, this will allow him the potential to kill TZY. They are really tired of how difficult it is to kill this Tidehunter. So now they'll have their own ganking squad as well. They're also a little bit worried about how much easier it seems for Magma to come in onto them. ShenZhen have been using a lot of resources to get some kills, and they're coming for more down bottom. Aikyo goes in with Great Fire Blast. They throw out some of these kisses, but C doesn't get off the arena just yet, so they don't find this kill. Finally, it does come out. Looks a little bit better. They have the damage, but they miss the spear, so Ravage comes out onto 3. Kazi is here to save them, but Jink going up with the Soul Bind as well. They're putting everything into TZY, and they finally get the kill. And now they also find Kazi as well. Okay, so it turns out that even if Hara is there, or Kazi is there, they have all 5 heroes, use every single ultimate, then they can finally get the Tidehunter kill. No problem. Super easy.
Curious to team used Ravage there. Like, yeah, you end another one of these situations where you could have done something with that if the rest of Magma rotates in, but they don't.
Yeah.
It's just a couple of extra seconds of time bought.
Tribute to my house.
Get out there and woo! Does he?
You and
Forward.
I.
Yeah, you can just.
So close.
What are you buying space for here? I guess this later. Dragon. Let's find the growth ball. That's perfect.
Hey. Okay. The game might not be going our way for the last like 2 minutes, but Gaben is at least with us. But I think the main thing they're buying space for is to recover the Ember Spirit. He's having such a poor time, but look where his net worth is now. He's top 3. And yes, they're losing kills all across the map. Kaikyo finds another one right now to Mercy. And they're rinsing them all out on the supports. TZY is dangling himself in very dangerous positions, and that's why we see his progression having stalled out. But they're deeming that it's worth it to allow Ember Spirit to play Dota, and he now has a Maelstrom and some BTs, and in tandem with his TA just picking up this Deso Blink Dragon Lance. I do think they feel ready that they can take a fight right now. They're too far away from BKB to fully wait for that item for Ember, but with him about to crack level 14, which will mean the additional points into the steering chains, you know, that extra half a second with the bonus damage that's going to come out right now might enable them to start fighting, and they can start thinking about Roshan as well. Dust doesn't want to have all these items and not go into the pit, and is also a little bit too far away from BKB to be comfortable. So they're probably just waiting for this Ravage to come back on cooldown for TTY, then they go. Or they might have to wait for the respawn of Kazi, because probably dies here. Oh no, he's fine. Wait, is he? Yeah, it's fine.
Fine right now. For like a trying, even barely survives this one. And that's Ravage that we're waiting for, finishing up scene. Drink that's unable to flick him for a little while. He is still slowing him down. Another one melt strike to pull him down from half. Forward here, TZY is not done yet. Stolen Inks. Not sure if he got much of a stun on there, but Kaiko, okay, that's the big damage on this Ember, turning it around.
No.
With the full Silver Edge, remember for TZY, but just the crits are there. Secondary kill. Magma, a bit more than they could chew there. Kaiko comes into this game in style, and now there's their chase. Kazi is back, and well, you have to manually press your ulti if you're broken. He did not get to do that there in time.
Oh gosh.
Dead.
Team Magma, so it's 2 buybacks that come out right now, and it did require the support buybacks from ShenZhen at first for them to be able to get that kill, but the horror situation ended up happening after they took that initial first fight, which seemed super solid for them. Rightfully so. Dust is like, all right, well, we've killed their Grimstroke, we've killed their Mars, sweet, it's time to go Roche, boys. And Dust goes immediately into the Roshan pit, starts sieging the Roche by himself, but the rest of the team goes forward for the fight, so they don't have the additional damage from Dust, who is most of their damage right now. And a big fight breaks out arena. Under 3, they've already taken down Kazi. Let's see, looking like he's going to end up following, chained to the wall with the Spear of Bombs. Ash jumps in, they bust the kill. They do lose Seed and the first life of Kaikyo for this one, and Dust also takes away the life of Ash. He loses his life. Ember Spirit though coming back on the backline to clean up on the rest of the heroes here for ShenZhen. Suddenly it's only Kaikyo that's left, but I say only Kaikyo. Kaikyo is no small customer. Hanging out and dishing out damage, fighting alone versus all of them. Armlet active, dishing out these right clicks. Look at Ember Spirit about to die. Goes to Renaissance for high ground. Something in the river. Kaikyo eventually does die. A godlike streak ended by the Ember, but made them work for it. 9 heroes fall in this one fight.
Alright, I don't know if the replays got all of that fight. Oh, no, it actually just got the tail end of it. Yeah, this crazy mad fight there from Kaikyo. Just
look at him go.
Kill him in the second
Dire's
life.
bottom tower is under attack.
Just kill an Ember there. One more. Random kid. If he doesn't have a random day, he's just gone. And to get the kill because of the armor toggles not being enough. But how was
Dire
that?
are scanning.
This game a lot more even than the last one. Let's just put it that way.
Yep.
Doesn't matter, bro. Shit, the smoke before these Rakan comes in, so you can just push out mid a little bit. Establish subtoll here.
Okay.
Push up Roche pretty quickly.
Yeah. Feels like whenever we see this matchup, the Tidehunter into Mars, that there comes this point in the game where the team that has Mars wants to make something happen, but they can't because the team that has Tidehunter just sits on this Ravage and sort of dares them to try and do anything funny. It's been a bit of a problem here, TZY. It's going to enable his team to take this Roche. It's the first one of the game, so it's just going to be a vanilla Aegis here for Dust, but having that additional protection will still be useful. Not that they've absolutely needed it on the CA. Dust, for the most part, has been fine, you know, but still having that with BKB is going to be a very strong timing here for the CA. And there's no comparable huge power spike coming in right now for ShenZhen. There's a BKB from Kaikyo being completed up, but it's a little bit further away. This Void Spirit still not really that close to having the Aghanim Scepter, nor does the Mars have access to BKB just yet. So Magma do have a little bit of time with the double BKBs just completed on both Dust as well as on this Ember Spirit. They are ready to fight here, Dragon Drop. The question is, where do they want to go? And do they just want to take a tier 2 tower in the top lane and set up for the outpost? It looks that way with TZY already shoving in this lane right now. Although they're going to try shove him out on the side of ShenZhen, but do so very carefully because they've seen what happens when you try to get too aggressive on him.
Can't easily kill him. Especially if you don't see the rest of try and kill him. Where you just Ravage. The rest of his team is there. There's a chance. Team fight, of course. Can do on Ashe. Quickly get rid of the creep. Right on top of him! Ravage fused! Ashe is dead. How?
Ouch. Ouch. Hashtag
It's right at the perfect spot. The instant blink lip
Dire's
from
top
Rubik.
tower is under attack. Dire's
Hashtag out. You know what it is, Dragon Drop? You were literally just talking about it, right? It's the fact that
Radiant's middle
they
tower
both teams
is under
know
attack.
that the only play available for Ashe right now is exactly what he was doing. Camping out in the trees, jumping in, clearing out the creep wave, then jumping out. So they realize that, wait a second, if that's his only counterplay, let's use that against them. Let's set up a trap, and they do it. In middle, though, they're going onto the Mars. He tries to jump in onto this Ember Spirit, but Seed instead finds out that they're revealing BKB on Ember. Ends up losing his life. Horror feels like there's always one support that dies immediately after Seed. Normally in this game, it has been Drink, but now it's poor Horror's turn. Gets taken for a ride. Ember Spirit very happy to reveal the BKB in that fashion. You know, didn't have to show it in the last big fight. He has to show it off now. Good times to be on the side of Team Magma, and they're gonna push this tier 2 tower like it's nothing. Should be able to take the outpost afterwards. Then you just move top. Get that outpost for yourself as well. Life is feeling very nice for themselves at the moment.
No way have a creep wave.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower
Wonderful movement
has
there from
fallen.
Magma.
Radiant's
say that
bottom
Dust
tower
goes
is
right
under
into
attack.
Oh no, Kaikyo.
And he's he actually still almost gets a kill on Kaiko with double jump there first. BKB does.
Radiant's bottom tower
Perhaps,
is under
yeah,
attack.
but okay, just taking away a drink. Gossip will keep him safe now. Back to fall from CZY, no round. Extra slow and extra to finish off Seed. Meanwhile, Ember's just getting a kill of his own.
Radiant's
Drink
bottom tower
and all
is
the way
under
back to
attack.
base just to die in front of
Dire's
his
mid tower
TNJ.
is under attack.
Now, the outpost. Let's get a freaking tier 3.
Wow. They're just going for the jugular here, directly for this win to Team Magma. Lane of Raxus coming up. That was... Like, ShenZhen really tried to retreat from that, and they did their best to salvage what was a very poor situation. Kaikyo running into the high ground, getting caught out in that situation.
Dire's middle
Like,
barracks has fallen.
you know, sometimes you spend so much time being allowed to play in your triangle that when it gets taken away, you sort of lose the rhythm of the game, and ShenZhen get caught in that situation. They can't play top, so they're like, well, maybe we can play safely in the triangle. Nope, nope, you can't do that either. Team Magma, they just take control of the entire map right now. And shame, ShenZhen, we saw them have the idea to flee, and oh my goodness, Ash! No option to flee because the damage! Woo! Okay, that's an Aghanim Scepter reveal as well from this Ember Spirit.
1300 from Ember Spirit. I was thinking, oh yeah, it must have been like a Meld Strike, you know, maybe A, but no. It was Ember doing that damage.
Yep. Ags, level 20. Additional Sleight of Fist, full Flame Guard, and a Nether Shawl. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt.
That's something just right now. Sometimes it does, but this time it doesn't. Ah, now it is.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah.
Dire's top
Telekinesis into a
tower
root,
is
there
under
was like
attack.
what, 2
Radiant structures are fortified. Dire's top
Remnant
tower
forward.
has fallen.
And he had the axe, so it was double Remnant forward, not just a single one. It's a lot of pain in a very short span of
Radiant's
time.
bottom tower is under attack.
Now this Ember Spirit,
Dire's
him
top
and his
tower
crew
is
are
under
setting
attack.
up to win this game and
Radiant's
secure
middle
this
tower has
2-0.
fallen.
Seed
Radiant's
has
bottom
only
tower
BKB,
has
Kaikyo has Silver Edge, the Armlet, and BKB, but there's no Deso, there's no AC. So there's no real big burst physical damage. Sure, you have this break mechanic that you can apply, but it's actually kind of difficult to right-click heroes anymore. That previous defense that we saw in the river, that to complete raid boss style of Raid King, not really going to be available for him anymore, despite having this cleave talent. These heroes from Magma are fairly difficult to kill, all of them now, including this Ember. And TZY has only gotten stronger. Has the Aghanim Scepter now, so that AoE gush, more stats, an Elven
Radiant's middle
Tunic to
tower
boot.
is under attack.
How do you kill these heroes? Especially with both the Blink Dagger being available for this young Rubik so he can stay back, doesn't have to get far forward, and having access to the Abaddon. And I say that as Rubik sets up for a kill on the high ground.
We sit on an Aegis right now, Magma.
Flames.
Give them a...
Okay, I've got a question for you then, Dragon Drop.
Like
Right.
in German, we would say Galgenfrist.
Uh-huh.
That is it. I'm gonna...
While you're looking that up, I've got a conundrum for you, right? Would you rather that they have an Aegis TA, or would you rather that they have a double damage TA with the Daedalus about, like the Daedalus already delivered, and just the double damage ready to be activated?
Why not both? Can't have both, but yeah, I always sort of say with the beat. You have a bit of extra safety already. I mean, it doesn't even have swap.
Double damage.
They want to take a fight here. If they can. That will break. Gets it out, and outside of the arena. Das can't actually find him right now, but now you can see the Steve did not follow him.
Nope.
Just like, nope. You're crazy. What the hell?
Ash though.
Everyone except Ash, who's also crazy. Chase and then get the mention from the jump forward. got it. God play.
This was the
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. That wasn't supposed to happen. That was definitely not supposed to happen, but it happens anyway. Ash, like you said, everyone else got the memo to flee. He gets left out, and he also gets left out of this game without buyback drag and drop. How on earth do we mount this defense without him? With him, it's already quite difficult, but not having access to the one hero that can open up fights for you, we already saw just now that Seed had been jumped in, used BKB Arena to literally no effectiveness, can't do anything, but TZY gets off the big ravage, super shots from Tusk. They've already taken down Horror. First life on Kaito was gone. He needs to run away with this BKB, but now suddenly you don't have BKB, so what can you actually do to defend your base here as they take it almost casually on the side of Team Magma?
Whatever spells they can,
Dire's
try to
top
slow it
barracks
down.
are under attack. Radiant's top tower
Oh,
is
creep
under
wave.
Still
attack.
respecting actually.
No creep wave.
No creep wave. They're respecting the lack of. I think there's a creep wave in mid. There's no backdoor. Say one damage. I figured it should be up by now, but it's not
Dire
quite.
are
Yeah.
scanning.
Gen, they have another opening here right now. We would get something out of this though. Like, don't fuck Magma. There's no Ravage. Seconds. It's not gonna have that available for this fight. Right click that is. What? Yikes.
Okay.
Get away, children. This is not for you anymore. Paisano. Kaiko.
Oh no.
It up. Damage being done. 2 feet away. Gonna make run gauntlet here. Back towards the base. Quite get it. That'll be enough. Team. Snapfire also dead.
Oh my goodness. Him and Seed had to BKB TP out, so now they don't have BKB for the final fight of this game.
That's a bit weird. Speed outside was also weird.
For a second I thought, I was like, wait, what? Is this a bug? Why is he not getting hit on the wall? Like, oh wait, that's not his arena. No, no.
Out Mercy again. I dare you.
Oh my gosh. Mercy, my bad. Pick Rubik first phase, all you want, G. You know, do you?
Yeah, this game was a lot closer for a lot longer, but now we're at a point where apparently that was up to 50 million damage in a single hit.
Yep.
Cool good stuff.
And we spoke about this, right? In the draft about how for the idea of getting kills for ShenZhen is like this spell has to connect it to this spell, has to connect it to that spell, has to connect it to Rain King hitting you. For Team Magma, it's Ember Spirit jumps you or TA jumps you and you get ravaged, or somebody lifts you and you're dead. And we're just seeing this get more and more the case as time goes on. Practically nothing that they can do on the side of ShenZhen. They don't even need to play with that much strategy, honestly, from the side of Team Magma. Just somebody find a hero, suddenly they'll be dead soon thereafter. Dust is just doing so much in this game. And it really is getting to that point where it's feeling a little bit ridiculous. And ShenZhen, they're still trying to fight here. They're looking for a kill bottom. When they get this, Ash and Kaito looking for the Ember and they've got him. 100 seconds, no buyback. Okay. ShenZhen showing us a new look here, but Dust coming in to look for revenge. Ravage comes out from TZY, catches on to 3. They find the arena, only onto Mercy. They don't have enough damage to kill these heroes just yet. Mercy finally does die. Drink is brought down at the same time as Dust and TZY now want to run. Their BKBs are running lower at the duration, and they're finished. Morty's Kiss is coming out onto Dust. They take away the first life. Buyback on the Rubik. And are they really going to try for this proper kill on Dust? He blinks away. Scatterblast won't be there in time. Low Shredder will bring down Kazi on the Abaddon. And they've fled far as they can. They're inside the base right now, trying to chase Dust. They just can't catch him. It's a little bit too dangerous to play into this area. But okay, a little bit of life being shown right now by ShenZhen. Seed forced into a BKB. Oh, doesn't matter because Dust sends it back the hard way. Express trip into the fountain with the backstabs from the TA.
Seed into the ground where he belongs, says Dust.
Oof.
Try to chase him down inside the base, but I need to getting punished for it. Stab and that was quite something. It's maybe best fight that ShenZhen could have hoped for, just getting the jump on the Emerson, which huge part of the damage outburst. Like, kind of need both of their heroes alive to regain the vital thing. EA and Ember. There. Cost them more. I mean, this
Dire's bottom tower
Towers
is under
will be gone.
attack. Dire's
than
bottom
delay.
tower has fallen.
That's the
High ground
Tower
fight.
is under
How
attack.
about this one, Ash?
Dire's bottom tower is under
Lift
attack.
it up, but this is a good placement of the fight. ShenZhen realizes too, I think.
Dire's bottom tower is
Take
under
it
attack.
away.
Dude, Kaika has no chill. He just runs up. It's like what? He literally gave away a reincarnation life for a D ward on the high ground. Are you kidding me? He's like, whatever, I'll wait for the next one. And they end up losing this tier 2 tower down bottom. Only one lane of racks left. Scary situation to be in, especially because the way this game is right now, there are no buybacks on 3 of their heroes. At least, at the very least, the 2 very close to the gold that they need to come back to the buybacks. Void Spirit fairly far away. It's going to be a bit of a problem before he arrives. At the same time, though, they need to really be careful about how they engage these fights. We've seen how quickly Magma can just melt their heroes. Ash in particular will really be grateful to get this Aghanim shot. That additional command ring will be so useful just for a bit more confusion in these fights. Honestly, it feels like him just jumping in and distracting Magma. At times, it's all been us keeping them in the game. Because instead of hitting buildings, they're trying to hit him. Somehow buying space and time by dangling his life on the line.
Never refuse gold given.
God, his life or life of the last set of racks. Even harder than it
Dire's
already
bottom
is.
tower is under attack.
To restore the void within.
Right here, they'll. That's always nice.
But there's
You take it away from Magma, but Kaiko can also make use of it.
okay.
Dire's middle
But it
tower
was
is under
started.
attack.
Should have the ability to farm up some. Just go back home, bro.
Okay, cool. It's a bit unfortunate that Kaikyo wasn't carrying the bottle at that point, so couldn't reserve the DD rune for later. And he only had a magic one. I thought they were going to try to swap that out when he was coming over. Would have been very useful because now Magma will just wait out this timing here on the high ground, hoping that it was just Kaikyo that grabbed it. He reveals middle. So now they know. Look how quickly they just back off. They're like, yeah, we're ahead, but we don't really have an appetite to fight a double damage Raid King. We'll leave y'all alone for a little bit of time. However, ShenZhen, that's all they're playing for at this point. It's just time, and more time. They're getting closer towards having all their buybacks online again. They only have 2 outstanding on the Snapfire and the Void Spirit, but they're very close. An additional round of bounties would help a lot, but obviously they cannot access any areas with their bounties safely. So they'll have to do it the hard way, try to farm this back up. Ash can get there quickly, a little bit more difficult for Hara. Might be forced into last minute selling an item, but we'll see how things go as Ash has his remnants stolen away, and Kaikyo's being annoyed by it in this mid lane. You can just almost feel this tension in this game that ShenZhen know if they get caught out once more before they're really ready, the game can just end immediately. But Magma are also not in the safest position. Both TZY as well as the Ember Spirit, neither of them have buyback right now, and they're very far away from having it. So if they go for this aggressive play and they end up losing the fight, they could end up quickly losing buildings. Because if ShenZhen actually get an opportunity without interruption to put Kaikyo onto the buildings with this AC and the skeletons, they can actually take a lane of racks very quickly on the side of ShenZhen.
Not really in a position where they have to go. Still building the lead, still farming. Map is now on that. One hero that can probably send out like this because he does have the ability to send out. First one here, but see, not so lucky. What will keep him safe? Only just. It's gonna have to take some time to recharge. They have a clip available. slow this one down.
Now that's a BKB charge gone.
Dire structures are fortified.
Down anyway, magic damage from the Drake. He just falls apart. Fighting back immediately. Rapid catches the couple, and now the Shield control them up even further. Ash, the middle of this one has the lead, and recharge. Boy can return to where's the damage going to come from. They're kiting out the Wraith King, no one can provide it. Follow-up stuns being thrown at him, and then his second life already. What? He's fighting back, so it's the third one.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Magma bring their full force to bear. Seed, oh god, he's trying to run away as he turn around. Not tied to the last right click here, but Rax, all of this is being threatened. Ash barely gets to live, now jump on the side to finish up Seed.
Dire's bottom barracks are under attack.
So much fire, big whole storm of it. Being thrown away. The defensive telekinesis actually to keep the Ember Spirit safe, so that's gonna be the Mega Creeps.
Oh, easy megas at that, as they do take it without much difficulty on the side of Magma. Chasing back everybody from ShenZhen. We really see as well Kaikyo struggling with the decision not to have purchased Blink Dagger in this game. Even after buying back, he just can't get into the fights. One thing we really didn't speak about is how mobile these heroes are versus what ShenZhen have to offer. Only this Void Squirt can get forward easily. Mars can, but we stopped seeing this Blink Dagger forward a long time ago because of just how quickly he dies to dust. So he can't get forward. This Wraith King just has to lumber as slowly as he can because they have the gem reveal on the side of Team Magma. This game is just too difficult. Now the Blink with the launch fight here. What? Damage from Dust. 2 heroes gone in a flash of an eye. At the first life on Kaikyo. Second life is not going to be long for this world. Even through the BKB, it doesn't matter. That's a straight up dieback. Ash dies elsewhere in the river. And they are just about to end this game. GG gets called as Dust finishes up a triple kill. ShenZhen smacked on the nose. Dreams of upper division gone, but Team Magma show that they are still contenders here, Dragonbird.
Gonna say someone called 0800 Nahas is a DD in front of the Roche pit. They didn't even need to use it for Roche. Just like, oh, they're sitting next to each other.